What up, fam? It's your boy, Slenderboy 2024, streaming to you live from a different park bench this time. Yes, I've changed benches just in case. I'm trying to change it up just in case. Slender Lord 2024 has already threatened me. He's going to bomb. He's gonna destroy my bench. He's gonna just in case he's planted a bomb underneath one of my benches. I have multiple benches, so I'm just gonna keep changing my HQ just to throw him off my scent, if you will. But yeah, this is going to be another short one. I just had kind of a question I wanted to pose for you guys. Question of the day. This is one I came up with, and I love it. I love to kind of ask people this. I love to think of people in terms of video game consoles, if that makes any sense. I love to think of people now in terms of video game consoles. So that's what I want to ask you guys. So like as gamers, like if you can only pick one, and you can only pick one, but you can pick one video game console, and like that's me. Like that's who I am as a person, as a human being, or like as you know, this describes me, my gaming habits, my gaming purchasing habits, or whatever. You know, go. So like there's plenty of people like the Nintendo fans. I could see like, oh, I am the Nintendo Switch. Like that's the console I play the most. And I love my Nintendo Switch, I do, but I wouldn't quite describe myself as like a Nintendo diehard. Like, you know, this will say it all in one sentence. I own a Nintendo Switch, right? I still haven't played Super Mario Odyssey. I still haven't played Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, I'm not a Nintendo diehard. It's not like I don't dislike Mario or Zelda. It's just those aren't my like instant go-to games. It's just like, yeah, like they're not a priority for me. I mean, I am interested in playing those games, like don't get me wrong, but like, yeah, I'm not like a Nintendo fanboy. That is not like the highest on my priority list, you know what I mean? So I can't really say, you know, so that's just an example. I can't, definitely that would be the answer for some people. The Switch is not the answer for me. And I was really trying to rack my brain on this one because for me, like, I'm such a weird person. I'm such a weird like gamer. I have such weird gaming habits. So it's like that's kind of hard for me. What game console represents me? I'm going to answer that in a second. But like I want to keep on like rolling with this idea here. So like there's plenty of people, and do this yourself. Do this to yourself. Do this to your friends. Do this to people you know in your life. Because there's definitely people like now I see people walking by. I'm like, oh, that guy's like a PS3. You know what I mean? That guy is a total PS3. Or like, you know, you know the people. There's like the people who are even. This isn't really a console per se, but I'll count this for the sake of argument. Like there's the people, you know, right away, the people that are like, oh, PC Master Race, hashtag PC Master Race, PC above all. Those are the PC. Like that's who you are. That's your avatar is a gaming PC, whatever, Alienware, whatever, you know, Steambox or whatever they called it, Valve Index, whatever the hell it's called. Like that's you, buddy. That's you to a T. But yeah, like there's people who will be like, oh, well, I love, you know, JRPGs or classic JRPGs like Final Fantasy or like, you know, stuff like that. It's like, okay, well then you're either the PS2, maybe the PS1. You love games like, you know, Breath of Fire and Final Fantasy and, you know, what have you, Chrono Trigger on the PS1, you know, all that stuff. Or excuse me, not Chrono Cross, was that was PS1? I don't play a lot of JRPGs. You can probably tell. And then there's the bros. There's the bros. You know them right away. You know who you are. You know who you are. The bros that like they play the FPSs. They play Call of Duty, COD all day. They always have the Xbox Live, you know, headset on. They just drink nothing but Mountain Dew. They eat Doritos all day. They're the Xbox 360. Like that is you. That is you, and you know, you are the human personification of the Xbox 360. There you go. There you go. What's interesting to me, let me say this too. I want to like do a sidebar on this real quick because I watched a video that Scott the Woz did recently on like the downfall of Xbox, and he made a really good point about something. But like you know, when I talk about the Xbox 360, again, something like pops into your brain right away, and you think about like the online multiplayer, you think about a couple of things. You think about Call of Duty, how big that game was on there. Maybe you think about Mass Effect. Maybe you think about BioShock. Maybe you think about, I mean, Halo 3, right? Yeah, no, Halo 3 was Xbox 360. People loved that. People were on that. Halo 4 to an extent, you know. So Halo Reach, like there's games that you think of instantly with that system. And they like personify, they embody that system. The Xbox One is a weird ass one though, because he went on this whole Scott went on this whole thing about how like, yeah, what is the Xbox? It's like it's a console that somehow has no identity. It's a console. It had games. It did. I swear. I have an Xbox One. I have games on it, but it's one of those. It had no identity of its own, and it's like seriously. Like, and he asked the question like, what is an Xbox One game? Like, what does that look like to you? And I'm like, well, I can think of like multi-platform games, but it's like, no. Like, what's an Xbox One game? You can name a PS4 game, right? Like think of like Sly Cooper, frickin' Ratchet and Clank, The Last of Us, Little Big Planet. You can think of a PS4 game without much difficulty, actually. What is an Xbox One game? Go. Go now. Like again, like correct me if I'm wrong. 360, like games were so big on that, like Gears of War, Halo 3, Halo 4. Xbox One. What was on Xbox One? Halo 5, but people didn't really like that one. Was there a Gears for Xbox One? I don't even know. Did people like it? I don't think people liked that one. And then like the games that I know of that I enjoy that I think are cool, but they're so not Xbox One game. Like they are whatchamacallit. Look at stuff like Super Lucky's Tale or Tunic or Cuphead, right? Those were games that were Xbox One exclusive, temporarily until they were on Switch, that is their home, that is where they belong. They are Switch. That is how I think of them. Like they were Xbox One games. Like Cuphead was totally an Xbox One game, but it's like they are Nintendo games that somehow accidentally released on Microsoft's console first. You know what I mean? It's like they are not Xbox One games, even though they are. They're the only ones that were exclusive. But yeah, that's my other question of the day. Yeah, talk about the Xbox One. Like, define the Xbox One. Like, what is an Xbox One game? Like, for real. Like I can't answer that question. It is a console without an identity somehow. It's interesting. But yeah, who would say that? Who would say like, oh, Xbox One, that's me. That's my identity. Like, are you a cipher? Are you like a freaking, are you a replicant? Are you not? Are you AI? Are you not a real person? Like, who says Xbox One is my console? Oh my lord. But yeah, and then you have like some of the older folks, or not necessarily, but like anyone that's like interested in like retro gaming, that likes old school like arcade games and stuff. But you got those people, right? And you know them when you see them. Well, they talk about like, oh, what's your favorite game? Oh, well, I like Pac-Man. I like Asteroids. I like Missile Command. I like Yars' Revenge. Okay, so Atari 2600, like that's you. That's your console. And they'll be like, yeah, pretty much, yeah. Well, let's get a little fancy. What about the 7800? Atari 7800, anyone remember that? That was backwards compatible with the 2600, and it had better sound. Slightly better graphics, I think, but better sound for sure. No one's going to say that. No, everyone's going to go with the more popular Atari 2600. Anyway, I have been stalling long enough. So what is my answer? I've been juggling a few answers for me. It's obviously not going to be one of the common ones. Like, it's not going to be like the PlayStation or the Xbox. It's not, or not even the Nintendo Switch. I briefly toyed with that, but like, no. Honestly, I'm closer to the Wii U. I'm closer to the Wii U. I love the Wii U. I think that was a really underrated console that got undeserved hate. But I'm not Scott the Woz. Scott the Woz's console is the Wii U. That's his console. That's him. I was thinking about the PlayStation Vita. The PlayStation Vita. Does anyone have this? Does anyone remember this? It is the successor to the PSP, which was also fire. But I think the PSP was pretty successful. The Vita, unfortunately, bombed. It bombed really hard. But it's a much better system, and it completely outclassed its competitor at the time, which was the 3DS. Even though the 3DS totally killed it in sales. I don't want this to be a Vita video. I have a lot to say about the PS Vita. I'm kind of like, I was like, oh, what am I? If we're going with this analogy, like, Scott the Woz is to the Wii U as I am to the, the Vita is my Wii U. I'm closer to the Vita than the Wii U, honestly. Like, I love this little handheld. It's my favorite handheld. I could talk for hours about the Vita. So, and there are plenty of awesome exclusive Sony games on this guy. Yeah, I mean, they were eventually ported over, but many years later, like we just got Persona 4 Golden for like other consoles, and like for the longest time, the Vita was the only way, and that was like the best version of Persona 4, and for the longest time, the only way to play it was on the Vita. So there you go. That's a little victory for the. But yeah, I don't want this to turn into a Vita video. I'll make another video about this at some point. I almost said the PS Vita, and I love this thing, but there's one answer that's actually better. There's one answer that's actually better, and it's more obscure. You know, the Vita's kind of obscure, but like, no. I was going through my things, and like, I somehow haven't talked about this yet. Oh yeah, I know. I briefly thought about the Playdate. That's another obscure one you guys haven't heard. You're not ready. I was gonna do the Playdate. You're not ready. You're not ready for the Playdate. Okay, first we have to talk about the Blaze Evercade. All right, we haven't talked about that yet. Maybe if you're good, we're gonna talk about this. Maybe if you're good, we'll get to the Playdate one day. But you're not ready for that shit yet. Okay, that's like hardcore. You're not ready for that. You have to like at least know about the Evercade EXP first before I even tell you about Panic's Playdate. All right, this is by a British company. Where is it? This is by a British company called, there it is, Blaze Entertainment made the Evercade, okay? So first they made something called, this handheld device called the Evercade. It was a little rough around the edges. It's a really cool device, but I could kind of tell that, like, okay, this is a newer company. This is their first venture into like making a console. Let's wait for like the next model. And sure enough, the Evercade EXP comes out. That's what I buy. And you know how technology works, where it's like, you know, you buy any, it's literally just like the frickin' 3DS, where it's like, okay, you bought the 3DS. Which 3DS did you buy? The XL? Oh, well, now there's a bigger one with a much better screen called the XL. You know, oh, you didn't get the new 3DS. It's called the new Nintendo 3DS XL, and that has exclusive games. You can't play Xenoblade Chronicles on your 3DS. Sorry, you know. So it's literally the same thing. I caved and bought the second, you know, generation. I bought the Evercade EXP, and there's already an EXP R that's out now, and the R can play, you know, it can play certain things that this can't. Like, I know, like, okay, I'm already behind. Great. That's just how technology works. You gotta get used to that shit. That's just how this stuff works, unfortunately. But yeah, each Evercade, it gets progressively more advanced. Like, this has a much better screen. It can handle like a lot more than the original Evercade. Think of like the jump from, like, say, the Game Boy to the Game Boy Color, right? But then you have stuff like the EXP R. That has like a new cartridge that comes with it, where you actually get all three Tomb Raider games, the first three Tomb Raider games on PlayStation 1. So that's so advanced it can play like N64 and PlayStation 1 games. This is more like the first two models, like the EXP and the original and the EXP, which I'm holding in my hands. Those are more like, okay, this is like the 16-bit era. Like we can play like Genesis, Super Nintendo games, which is fine with me. Like that's good enough for me. I forget how much this retailed for. You can look it up, but yeah, this thing, I don't want this to turn into an Evercade. It kind of has. It kind of has already. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. So this comes with a bunch of shit. Like, you really get your value. I mean, you don't just get the system, which is alone is awesome, but I mean, look at this Blaze. You can't have a Blaze without fire, right? Like this is fire. Like this packaging is just pure drip. Like, look at this. This is drippy as hell. This box is drippy as hell. But you get the console, you get like a cartridge with 6 games on it, and built into the system you have not just any old 18 games. You have 18 Capcom games. Like you know, big game. Like, I'm not talking about like, oh, we found some like crappy obscure, like, no. Final Fight, Ghouls and Ghosts, Mega Man X, Street Fighter 2, Hyper Fight. You know, these are not throwaway games. They paid. Blaze paid the money to Capcom to get some of their best titles from that era on this thing. Why did this turn into an Evercade review? I'm sorry. Let's go in. Let's go in. I will answer my own question in a minute, but I just, let's go in, because this is the answer. I'm telling you why it's the answer, because I'm telling you about the Evercade. This box is just pure style. Like, this is drip. This is so drippy. Okay. And like, it's so cool. And like, when you hold it, like, the buttons just feel so good. The D-pad, the circle D-pad just feels so good in your hand. Like, this thing, and like the cartridges, like, slot, they look like they're part of the console, and they slide out and they pop right back in, like Oh man, I love, and like, so that's the reason I picked the Evercade, right? It does personify my like gaming practices, because here we go. Here's like an example. It gives you like one box to, it's like a starter pack to get you started. Here's like, you know, but like, I am someone who 9 times out of 10 I buy things physically. I mean, I sometimes there's no choice. Like if it's like, especially if it's like an indie game or something, it's like, yeah, like, you know, here's like this little tiny eShop game. There's never gonna be a physical disc. They're not gonna put, you know, whatever. Like the, you know, well, eventually they did, but like, you know, for example, remember like the Scott Pilgrim video game on Xbox 360 on Xbox Live, like. You know, okay, I mean, they did put that on disc later, but bad example. Something like, say, Super Meat Boy, okay? This little indie game on Xbox Live, you download it, and that's it. There's no physical version, like, there's no choice, really. And because it's a small game, it's a smaller title anyway, but, like, so I do buy games digitally, but, you know, my hard drive fills up pretty quick. But also, I just like I like to own things. I like to physically, you know, I'm all about that tactile sensation. I love, you know, slamming a cartridge into your game system and booting it up. And that's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of this. Yeah, you can easily get like all of these games on Steam or whatever, you know, the Xbox Live Store probably has a lot of them. But like, you're not going to have them. Well, you're not going to be able to play them on this wonderful little device here. Oh, and the other thing, you're not ready for this. Are you? Should I even do it? Should I even? I don't know if you're ready to handle Tate mode. So this is the main thing that this has over the original Evercade. The XP has you know, it's got your D-pad, your normal buttons. Oh, but there's these other buttons on the lower left-hand corner. Do you see them? The A and B. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh. So I can play like this. I can play with these buttons, and look at how much more. This is designed for the vertical scrolling shooters that Capcom has made. So like, look at this. You have so much more real estate on the screen because you're playing a game where you're vertically, you know, scrolling with your ship or whatever, and it's to simulate the arcade experience, and it's beautiful. It's perfect. And I don't know any other console that can do this. So there you go. There's one selling point for the EXP right there. But yeah, I love that you can get these games on a physical cartridge, slam into your Evercade, and play them. And I just miss, you know, having something on my shelf to display, because again, you buy digitally and like there's nothing to hold up to show people. There's nothing. You get this cool clamshell case. You open it up. You know, I put the cartridge in the system already, but there's the cartridge. Oh, what's this? A full color manual? A full color freaking do you remember when games had instruction manuals? Oh, a little bit of background about the company IREM. What a little bit of background about each game you bought, like R-Type. What is this? What is this? Oh my, you know, do you guys remember instruction booklets? Remember when we used to get those with every game for free? We kind of miss those. I know a lot of people miss those. But yeah, this is just a love letter to that era of gaming that has gone away, and I love it. And yeah, I have no choice. I have to, you know, this is me to a T. The fact that like this represents so many things. It's an obscure, underpowered handheld, so that's me. It's all about retro gaming. That's me. It's all about bringing back physical media, which is me to a T. I hate, like, I love Sony, but I hate Sony. I hate how Sony's gone in that direction of like digital only games, or like a digital only console, where it's like, oh yeah, the PS5 Pro, it's the best PS5, but it's digital only. But don't worry, we'll sell you a disc drive for like $70 extra. But yeah, a lot of our games, we might not like print physical copies of them. Maybe we want them to be digital only because we make more profit off of it digitally, right? We get like 100% of the profits. We don't have to like deal with stores like GameStop selling them or anything, you know. And it's like, yeah, I mean, that's true, but you know, they're like, and that's like a whole other debate. We can have that some other time, guys. Like, you know, physical versus digital. Like, how do you prefer to get your games? But like for me, it's a no-brainer. It's no contest, because for me, I mean, again, aside from like hey, I get to physically own something. I get to physically slam that cartridge into the game console and boot it up, which I love. It's also like, a lot. That's the issue with a lot of things digitally, where some storefronts, like the Scott Pilgrim game before it was rescued, it was delisted from the Xbox Live store, and that was it. Like, there again, you weren't able to buy it anymore because there were no discs made of it, and it, once it's down from that store, it's down. It's just gone. It just poof, it evaporates, and that's how so many games are nowadays, where there's no other way to get them besides some sort of digital storefront. The other thing that's for me is like a thing where it's like, I like to, lend games to friends or trade games with friends, and which is like literally impossible in this day and age. Like, I was talking to my one buddy where I was like, oh yeah, I could lend you like Astrobot or whatever, and he's like, oh well, I don't have the physical, I don't have the disc drive. Like, I have the digital only version of the PS5. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, can't help you there. So it's like, yeah, no, like I can't lend games to friends anymore, or vice versa, if they're digital only, right? Like, there's no way to like lend games. I mean, I guess that's what companies want, because they lose money when you like lend a disc to a friend and that friend didn't have to pay $60-$70 for Astrobot, when he could, oh, you can just borrow my disc, and then when you're done you can give it back, and then I can borrow God of War Ragnarok, and now I don't have to pay $70 for God of War Ragnarok. It's just like, a company's like, no, we're losing money. I love trading games with people. I love, again, it's something you can only do with physical cartridges, physical discs, physical media, bringing back physical media. Blaze is doing it. Blaze is single-handedly bringing back physical media, and I love them for it. This device, like, again, it's not very powerful. Like, if we're talking about like the most powerful handheld, I gotta go, and the 3DS was no slouch. The 3DS was like I would say almost like GameCube level of power, but the Vita is so cool. Like, the Vita, like, games would come out for both PS3 and Vita, and honestly, the Vita port wasn't much of a downgrade at all. Like, people always talk about the Borderlands 2 Vita version, where it was like, yeah, Borderlands 2 came out on PS3 and Vita day and date, and it wasn't that much of a downgrade to play it on the handle, which for that time, remember, this is pre-Switch, pre-Steam Deck, pre-all that, that's insane. The only other handheld on the market was the 3DS. So the fact that the Vita could run Borderlands 2, I'm getting so off topic, but anyway, the Vita was very powerful. Again, PS3 power. This boy, he's basically a Super Nintendo, if I want to be honest. I don't even have the XPR, so I can't even say, oh, he can play PS1 games at least now. But like, as far as the presentation, the box it came in is a 10. The system itself, it's hard to like, I love the white color. I love the white design. There was also a limited edition black design, but I actually like the white design better. It looks so freaking cool. And again, it's so hard to like communicate to you. Like you really have to hold it in your hands to understand what I'm talking about. But it's like, just the feel of a console is so important. Oh, and you got all these shoulder buttons. That's fire. Yeah, the buttons just feel so good. They're so sensitive, and this is the best D-pad I've ever felt. Like, I love this D-pad. It's so smooth to the touch. It's so sensitive. Like, I love it. I love it. Yeah, Evercade EXP, favorite handheld of all time, and well, besides Playdate, we'll get to that one day. And this personifies me as a gamer. This is me as a console, and I want to know what console represents you as a gamer.